to
Living Our Best Defective Life. I'm Shannon.
And I'm
Defective?
I'm not Bandit. That's what we're going to say. My name's Scott, and welcome. So our grandchild really likes Bluey
A lot.
a lot. And on the note of grandchildren, we are expecting another one. I think we announced that in an earlier episode. But this is episode 12. And one of the things that people have asked us and that we keep asking ourselves is, what do our dreams look like? Nothing like
We imagined.
when we got married, or before we got married, or even 10 years ago.
Which I know, when our people are young and in love and getting married, they have these dreams, and reality sets in, and those dreams that you have for your marriage being happily ever after, or perfect, it isn't like that. It's work. However, you do have those dreams about, okay, we're gonna be married, we're gonna have kids and raise our kids, and then we'll have our years where we're retired and we get to be grandparents and travel and do all kinds of stuff. And that's kind of where we're going into now. However, how we pictured being grandparents and traveling is not necessarily how we envisioned it, or at least not how I envisioned it at this point. How did you envision this time of our lives?
So I had a lot of dreams that seemed like they would be possibilities. The best dream was that we would have figured out how to be independently wealthy and could just spend our time with family and doing whatever it was that we wanted to do. It became clear to me very quickly that was probably not going to happen.
We also had the dream at one point that once our kids grew up, that I would get my trucking license along CDL along with him, and
we
that
might have to start over. Okay.
Our CDL with each other, and we would team truck drive and travel that way.
Sorry, I had a little leg cramp.
You okay?
Again, may edit, may not, don't know.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
All right.
Yeah, that was a real possibility, because you've been pretty much stuck in Minnesota your whole life.
Yeah, except for those few months of living in North Dakota, but I don't talk about that.
That wasn't an upgrade. Sorry, North Dakota. It's just true. I, of course, have been all over the country and all over North America, actually. Although you've been to Mexico.
I have been to Mexico.
And I have not. And I have no plans.
And once I met you, before I had met you, I'd lived in Minnesota, had traveled, down. I had been to Iowa. I had been to North Dakota. I had been over to Wisconsin and Michigan. And that's about, and then I had flown my senior year. I got to fly to Georgia, and then I had been in Mexico. Those are the places I had been. And then before we got married, you flew me out to California to meet your family, or your extended family.
My grandparents, my mom's grandparents, my mom's parents, my grandparents, some of my aunts and uncles, and assorted cousins, and I don't know who all was there. I was on the older end of my 56 cousins. 56?
I have no idea.
56 or 57, I can't remember. I was on the older end, so I had a lot of cousins that were much, much younger than me. So,
and then once we got married, and I went on truck trips with you.
Say that again.
Truck
And use words
trips.
that are understandable.
I went on truck trips with you
She
as you would
took
ride.
some vacation time, or during when she was out of school, and she would come with me during the summer, ride in the truck with me, and see what I did, so that she had a better understanding of
And
what it was.
that was
I did.
really when I got to really travel and see America, and knew I wanted to do that more. And we've done some trips with the kids. You know, we've gone out to South Dakota and different places, and we've gone down to Texas with the kids and to Missouri. Most of that's been visiting family, but we've done little trips places with that. And that was something that we always talked about, was traveling when, especially when the kids were older and gone and on their own, that he and I could do traveling. We thought, well, what better way to do that than team truck driving?
Yep. Get somebody else to pay for your travel, and you know, if you are good at your job and you tell them that, you know, hey, I want to stop in this place for a few days, usually they're good at letting you do that.
And you loved driving truck.
I did.
And you
There
were
was-
good at it.
there's-
You enjoyed it.
Always huge challenges to it, and I really enjoyed that job satisfaction of knowing that I did the job, and at the end of the day nobody was dead. That was a great day. So
And we even talked about me going with you more often, even if I didn't get my truck driving get my CDL. See, I'm trying to use the correct terms.
I knew what you're talking about. So will everybody
CDL,
else.
that you know, even going with him in the summer times, that I could, you know, when school's out, I could go and travel with him for 3-4 weeks to 6, you know, even 6 weeks. But that was a dream that died with your
It
diagnosis.
died a slow, agonizing death, but it's dead.
Died. But we still both love traveling. But that's slowly dying now too.
It is really hard for me to travel. If I'm in a seating position too long, I get very uncomfortable. And I know being numb doesn't mean I'm pain-free. So it's hard to explain to people, well, yeah, you can stab me in the back of my hand with a fork, I'm not going to feel it, but also there's always pain there all the time. It doesn't make sense to people.
Well, and there's also the fact that when you're sitting and you have your foot in a position, and if it starts to hurt or something with the...
No, it doesn't hurt.
No, I know that. It does not hurt on you, but normal people, I hate that word. Anyways, you're sitting and your foot in a certain spot and it starts to get stiff. We can feel that stiffness. He can't. And we move after that stiffness,
right.
but that can cause you stiffness and pain in other areas where you do feel that stiffness.
So we did a road trip. I want to say it was last year in February. I had an uncle that passed, and we drove to attend the memorial service. And during that drive, I rested my knee against the inside door card on the vehicle we were in. And because I did not move my knee or my leg for many hours, I actually had what would be called a bed sore, pressure necrosis, that took place on a spot on my knee. Now, for whatever reason, I was blessed with an incredible ability to heal my flesh. So I'm good. I'm fine. It didn't cause any problems. I knew what happened immediately because it looked discolored, and we had taken care of it, and it wasn't a big deal.
And there was a lot in other episodes that we've spent a lot of time with wound care and know a lot of different things. So we also have materials and different things to help
Or
with
at least
those,
know
and,
where to get
and
them.
knowledge
Yep.
of what to use for certain things too.
So that is a lesson that I learned the hard way there. And so if I travel, it has to be in a way that I can be comfortable and do it. And frankly, Shannon does not like to drive.
I'm getting more used to it. It's not that I necessarily don't like to drive. I can't I start to get zone out if I drive for long periods of time. And if you're traveling for the day, that's probably not a good thing to do, is to be zoning out and stuff. So we would need to stop. And I also like to look at stuff. So if I'm driving, yeah, I'm looking at the things around us
So
too.
safety's an issue.
Yes,
But
I'm getting better.
But it again, it that is what it is, and we'll either work around it or we won't.
And we are going to talk in a different episode about what it takes to travel, what things that we need to bring when we are
I
going.
actually think it's going to be in the next episode. So if you want to fast forward to the next episode, go right ahead.
Yes, but we have decided we are not willing to give up our dream of traveling quite yet, and we are just going to not wait until a good time, or let's wait.
There is no better time than right now, because
Exactly.
I'm never going to have a better time than right now. So whether the finances work out or not, or whatever it is that we have to do, that's what we have to do. And more than likely, depending on what all takes place this summer, this will probably be the last big road trippy thing we ever do.
Mm-hmm.
Our plan is to document that on this channel as well, and share with you where we go and what we do, and
All the ins and outs, and
maybe talk
traveling
about
with him.
a little about where are good places to go if you are not able-bodied, and where are places to avoid if you're not able-bodied. So
Yep, and that's the thing too. I have there's people, we're planning on going southwest, and then back up north, but still west of where we are right now. And the Grand Canyon area up to Yellowstone, different things. And I've had people mention, traveling, great hiking places. Well, he's not going to hike. There's not, we'll do scenic views, or, where you pull off alongside the road to go and look at scenic views. We can do those. Any hiking with him, it's not a good idea. And especially since I see that more even after.
So basically what she's saying is, if you find out later that I fell off of a ledge while hiking, it was probably murder, and there's probably insurance money involved. We've been watching too many murder mystery stuff on Dateline. And
We are not
2020.
we are not hiking. Also, there's time, sitting in a car and then getting out to hike is not a good thing. So for him, because his legs don't necessarily work as right away when he gets out. And me pushing him a hiking trail pushing you in the wheelchair
We've
is
already
not
heard stories.
not a good idea for me, because squirrel, and I'd let him go and he'd be laying
Again, there's
backwards.
got to be insurance policies somewhere.
You're throwing me under the bus here.
I just want it out there so everybody knows when it happens.
All right, sure. But it's a whole different thing for traveling. Where are we going to go? We still want to be able to see things and do things. So there's just, it's hard, to let go of that original dream. But we get to make new dreams, and that's kind of what we're doing.
This is part of those new dreams. While I'd always had an interest in all things audiophile and videography and things like that, it was never something I pursued. Since being home and having to think a lot about and becoming a massive consumer of YouTube and podcasts and other things, coming to the conclusion that this was something that was worthy of being shared, I think that was a huge.
And it's still very humbling on the feedback that we've gotten from people saying, wow, it's been great. I've enjoyed watching you. Even getting messages and questions asking us about different things that we've gone through, and different medications or different things that have worked for him. People even suggesting trying certain things too that have helped with them. It's been very humbling for me. So thank you
I
for
am
those
not
that are
humbled at all.
watching. For those that are
I'm
watching,
bolder
thank
than
you.
I've ever been.
I've actually enjoyed even having my students go, Mrs. Smith, I saw you on YouTube. That's kind of been the funny part. So
yeah. So yeah, she lives the life of a rock star. She can't go anywhere in our town without being recognized and hooted and hollered at. So,
well, life of a celebrity.
yeah. Anyway, so back to what our dreams are. Our dreams are muted, I think, compared to where we started at our earlier phases in our marriage. But that doesn't mean that we don't have them, and that doesn't mean we're not going to fight for them. Mm-hmm. I think for us going forward, just getting everything that we can out of life, does that make sense to put it that way?
I mean, basically living our best
defective
life and making the best of the situations. I think, there's been many times we've discussed times that he's been in the hospital and touch and go, and the fact that the one dream that we had was that, holding our grandchildren, and we've been able to do that. And for me, that's been a great thing. That's been a dream
out there
for me.
Has ever had a border collie, yeah, this is what it's like to have a border collie. Just constant, and he's not a bad dog. Don't get me wrong. He's just a lot of dogs sometimes, and my daughter's not here to take care of him. So
yes, our dogs are our children's dogs, and if they say, "Yeah, I'll take care of them," eventually they're going to go to college, and the dogs can't go with them. I'm telling you. So, the dream of having our grandchildren, being with our grandkids together, having Papa time, Our grandson said Papa today. Was a lot. He hasn't said Grammy to me, really.
You're just the food
Papa.
provider?
I'm just the food. I just give him food, cookies.
He treats you appropriately. It's fine.
But it was Papa today.
Get whacked for that one, I'm sure. So yeah, I think we're going long on this anyway, but our dreams have changed drastically. They're probably smaller.
Yes, they're smaller.
But that comes with the amount of effort that I have available to put into them, and that Shannon has available to put in. I require a lot of effort. I require a lot of time. That dog requires a lot of time. So everything just changed. And I think what I'm really trying to get at here is that life is what you make of it. If you choose to be down and sad and upset, it's not going to be a great place to be. If you choose to look for the bright side, look for the silver lining, look for the thing that may be obscure, that's where you're going to find the bright side.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
I think so. I think he is saying we're done.
That's Monty. This is Shannon. I'm Scott. And thank you for joining us. And this is
Living Our Best Defective Life.
Have a great life.